This video is created by Jagrat Creation. It is on accounting for branches, independent branch. I wish to explain how the adjustment entries are recorded in the books of branch at the time of closing the books of accounts, and I would like to write down the adjustment entry for all such transactions. For that purpose, one sum is taken and presented here before you. Just observe it. This is the sum which I wish to take care of. Give journal entries in the books of branch to rectify or adjust the following. Head office expenses 3,500 allocated to branch but not recorded in the branch books. Depreciation of branch assets whose accounts are kept by head office not provided earlier by 1,500. Branch paid 2,000 as salary to HO inspector, but amount paid has been debited by branch to salary account. HO collected 10,000 directly from customer on behalf of branch, but no information to this effect has been received by the branch. A remittance of 15,000 sent by branch has not yet been received by the head office. Branch A incurred the advertisement expenses of rupees 3,000 on behalf of branch B. Branch A paid for B. So it is presumed to have been paid to HO. Now let us write down the adjustment entries. Head office expenses 3,500 allocated to the branch, not recorded in the books of branch. So expense of branch unrecorded in the books of branch. So expense of branch not recorded in the books of branch, so expense account is to be debited. Branch has not paid cash for that. Who has paid cash for that? Head office has paid the cash for that. So HO is the giver. So an entry for that is branch expense account debit to HO account credit. HO is the giver of this expenses, so HO account is to be credited. It is the expense of branch, so branch expense account is to be debited for that. This is the narration. Depreciation of branch assets. So assets are used at branch. Depreciation has occurred thereon. So depreciation is a charge to be made to the profit and loss account of branch. So depreciation account need be debited in the books of branch, whose account were kept in the books of head office not provided. So asset account is in the books of head office. So depreciation is to be transferred to HO account because the asset account is in the books of HO. So depreciation account debit to HO account credit is the adjustment entry, being depreciation provided. Branch paid 2,000 salary to HO inspector. So it's an expense of HO paid by branch. This expense should have been debited to HO account. Instead, branch has debited to salary account. Salary account is wrongly debited. Undo that is wrong. Do what is right. So HO account debit to salary account credit. Being rectification entry of salary paid on behalf of HO. HO collected 10,000 directly from the customer. It's an error of omission. So cash is received from customer, so debtors account is to be credited. The amount has been collected by HO, so HO is the receiver, debit the receiver. HO account debit to debtors account credit. This is how adjustment entry gets recorded. Remittance of 15,000 sent by branch has not yet been received at HO. So cash is sent by branch. By the end of the year, it is not received by HO. So cash is in transit. Remember, cash in transit or goods in transit entry, the adjustment entry is to be recorded always at the receiver's end. So here remittance of 15,000 sent by branch. So branch is the giver, not the receiver. HO is the receiver. So adjustment entry will be recorded at the receiver end. So HO will record this entry for cash in transit. So I won't write any entry in the books of branch. That's an important point. No entry in the books of branch because cash in transit and goods in transit are to be recorded at the receiver's end. That's an important understanding that students should hold. So no entry is recorded here in the books of branch. Branch incurred advertisement expenses 3,000 on behalf of branch B. So branch paid on behalf of branch B. It is presumed that it has been paid for HO. So HO is presumed to be the receiver. So HO account debit to cash account. So branch A incurred the expenses, advertisement expenses, rupees 3,000 on behalf of branch B. So this expense is presumed to have been paid for HO. HO account debit to cash account. But if this advertisement expense is already debited to advertisement expense account is already debited, then in that situation, HO account debit to advertisement expense account credit, that is the entry to be recorded. That's an important understanding that students should hold. This is how being expenditure on account of branch B recorded in the books of A. So head office account debit to cash account. If the transaction is entered into right now, HO to cash, or if the amount is already debited to advertisement expenditure account, then advertisement expenditure account gets credited. This is how this sum is to be solved. I have tried to explain you this sum. I feel that you have followed all these things. Thanks to all of you.